Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another power episode of Iron Panther Presents. Today we move on to Book 3, Raising Kanan, with Season 1, Episode 1 that aired today. What do we got? We're going to have Chris, we're going to have Kimberly, we may have Stacy coming in to give our thoughts on this video. But before we get started, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, like on the video, and comment on the video, share the video, let us know why you watch Power, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. This is the prequel that no one asked for except for 50 Cent. This is about what happened. How did Kanan Stark become who he is? This is his backstory starting from 1991, technically 1985. And this is his story. This is 50 Cent's story, because Courtney Kent was very specific with the fact she did not want to do prequels. There was no stakes in said prequel, so why are we doing this? But we meet his family. We meet his mom, Raquel, his Uncle Marv, and Lulu, his other uncle, and the great jukebox. And she is a wonderful singer. And we see that he has put himself, Kanan has put himself in the middle of this drug game by trying to stick up for his mother by killing a man. And therefore, we're going to talk about all that. So anyway, Kimberly, what did you think of this episode?
For me, it started out a little bit slow. But we got a lot of information. Some of the acting was a little over the top, unique. But other than that, for a first episode, it was okay. It was okay.
All right. Chris, how about you?
Yeah, I thought for the beginning, I thought it was a good, a decent start. For what it was. I really hope that we kind of see like a true evolution, to see basically the same thing we got with Breaking Bad, just kind of seeing the evolution of watching Kanan transform into this I don't give a damn person that we saw him in Power. But other than that, yeah, no, I think for a first episode, a lot happened in this first episode, which is kind of unexpected for a very first episode. But shout out to Omar Epps, the king of 90s hood movies, one of them at least, so they got him playing in here. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be crooked in this one. I guarantee you he'll be crooked in this one. Joey Badass is in there, and a couple other high profile folks in here as well. So, so I liked it so far.
All right. Speaking, you said a lot of things happen. So really we get the origin of Kanan's family's drug operation. So what we find out is that his mom, Raquel, was actually brought into the drug game around 1985, as she was dating a man named High Post. Mr. Post dies in 1986. I guess he was snitching and he was set on fire. But before he died, he made a street dealing property arrangement with a man named Ronnie. Ronnie is the brother of Unique, who now runs the business now that Ronnie's in jail for the rest of his life. And Unique and Rack are trying to figure out how to work out this territory. They make a tentative deal, but Kanan, trying to stick up for his mama because he loves his mama, decides to kill a man named Buck 20, and therefore puts himself at the mercy of Unique. So one of the main questions, as Chris and Kimberly pointed out, is how do we get to the Kanan of Book 1? I think one of my major issues with this prequel and all prequels is that they're always somewhat inconsistent with the original material. And with this story, we are introduced to a sensitive, mama-loving Kanan, who had the opportunity to go to a good high school with escalators, and then go off to college and get a job. And he was like, "Fuck all that! I'm gonna stay at home and be with my mama and sell these drugs." And I'm like, how do we get to the Kanan that tells Tariq, "I ain't good. I wasn't raised that way"? That's not true. At least not right now. So we need to figure all that out in this prequel. But Stacy, thank you very much for joining us again. For the record, we'll talk about that later. What are your thoughts on the on this episode?
Yeah, like I said previously, um,
Huh? Previously where?
It's always good the second time.
Previously where? I
don't
have no
worry
idea
about
what
it,
you're talking
Krish. I too was a bit shocked that he did have somewhat of a loving kind of, not wholesome, but he had some type of structure, and his mother did want something better for him than street life. So to see him become like the cold person he is in book one is kind of, like I said, we want to see how this evolves. Like we saw it with Tariq, and it took 4 seasons for Tariq to go from little kid to killer. So how quickly are we going to get book one Kanan from this little teenager?
And to that being said, this kind of goes to his evolution and Jukebox evolution, since there are only two characters in this entire episode that we actually know anything about when it comes to book one. And a lot of their story was already established in this one episode, which I felt was therefore was kind of rushed. With Kanan killing his first person, which would be a buck 20. I got to keep on looking at the paper because I'm like, this sounds silly to say this name. Buck 20 is the first body he dropped, which according to season 3 of book 1, as Jukebox tells the story, this should have been the time that Kanan reaches out to his cousin, who he loves so much, to say, I just killed someone. I need you to a certain extent to show that bond between the two of them. And that's not what happened. He, in fact, killed Buck 20 with D Wiz, someone we never heard of before. And Famous, who was also there, someone we also never heard of before. And next thing you know, you see Kanan, Jukebox, and the rest of the family basically sitting around having a conversation about how this murder is going to cause, repercussions for the family with Unique. And I'm like, this is not the story we were given, and therefore it is inconsistent. Jukebox being gay, Jukebox tells Kanan, you're the first one I told you about being gay. We didn't receive that moment.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, she said.
I thought she said that when she came out to her father, and then her father, I guess, disowned her.
That's what her girlfriend said. That's what her girlfriend told somebody. I know that's why Jukebox loves you, because you told her to be herself when her dad kicked her out. So that's another thing we need to see actually happen. But
I think that definitely is going to happen.
That's probably definitely going to happen. That's probably definitely going to happen. But the problem with that is that Tommy and Ghost knew Jukebox. So therefore it can't happen unless we're going to see Ghost and Tommy in this. So they can have their experience with her before she moves off to DC. So I mean, it'd be interesting how they try to reconcile those stories. But this one, we're introduced to the fact that that Jukebox is gay. She's somewhat trying to date a rich white girl. All right. But Kanan already knows that. He's like, oh, you with old girl, and that it wasn't even a big deal, like because he knows that. But I'm like, we missed another moment or the few moments that we heard from book 1 that should have been flushed out in this. I felt. But what do we got? So with Kanan, we learned again he's book smart. Apparently.
Tariq. He's Tariq. He's Tariq. Like all of a sudden smart. I guarantee you, Tommy's book. In the beginning of Tommy's story, he's going to be borderline Stanford. He's gonna go to Stanford, but like said, Tommy said, I know your mother's a crack fiend, okay? And James is no good. You could have had perfect SATs, but now you want to be a hood. You want to get in the hood, and you're related to the Bradens. Or like, nah, it's just like, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, Tommy's smart too. Everybody's smart. Everybody's smart, and then they just turn hood. Apparently, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Tariq, where the hell did that come from? Tariq was not the smart kid. He wasn't. Huh?
He was smart in class. He was a good student.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He was a good student from the very beginning. Yeah. He was always a good student.
I know Raina was. I thought only Raina was the good student. He was too.
No, Raina was a goody two shoes. Yeah.
Raina wasn't smart. She didn't have the grades enough to get into choke. Tariq did. Like Tariq being the tutor of other people is when that bullshit came in. Like, but anyway, let's get back to this, okay? So we can talk about that in November when book 2 comes back. But with this, Raquel proves time and time again her only really priority is Kanan. So when she meets a nice man, she's like, hey, Symphony. It's hard to say this man because that name is silly as fuck. But when she meets Symphony, the bartender, this is a good looking man. She goes on a date with this man. But as soon as Lulu shows up to say, hey, Kanan, it's all he had to say. This woman promptly stands up, drops the money on the table to tell this man, I don't need you to pay my bills. That's what I'm here for that. I'm going to go home, take care of my son.
Absolutely.
And
like Tommy.
Like right?
But not like Tasha and Ghost.
No, Ghost did give 2 fucks. Like Tasha, I can't, I would say Tasha was there. Tasha was the only parent those children had. She wasn't a good one, but she was the only one there. Tommy, yes, Tommy ran the drug business. He drove the kids to school. Raquel did exactly, to your point. Raquel actually took her son to school, brought this boy lunch and shit. I'm like, how does this little boy turn into a man that shoots his son in the face without any hesitation?
Because his mother's gonna die. That's how.
Has to be.
His mother is gonna be killed, but it's the life that she's living. I mean, drug dealers either go to jail or they die. So his mother, I think, is gonna be killed by Unique or one of Unique's henchmen. And this is going to scar Kanan for the rest of his life. And he's gonna become a bitter person. That's how Kanan, the bitter person, is created, I believe.
And then that goes to Marvin. Marv is obviously the muscle of the family. He's more brawn than brains, as you can see. And so I can see him if Raquel dies, Kanan has to go live with him for some reason. He's the father of Jukebox. This gives him the opportunity for Jukebox and Kanan to be raised together, to become closer together. Not that they're already tight, clearly they are. But Marv can train him to be the man that we see in book 1. We need a scene where Marv is chopping up a body and showing Tariq how to do that, because that's something specific that Tommy said that Kanan taught him as he was trying to teach Sean. So that's something, and how to break a lock. There's all the little things that Kanan taught Tariq. We need to see him being taught. What's up?
When you said breaking the lock, it took me back to Spell when Ghost was picking the lock to get his wife out the bathroom, and that's the only reference that we got until the end of the movie.
Yep.
I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but carry on.
It was ridiculous as when Ghost and Tommy and Tariq do it. But like this is our opportunity to learn, to see him do all the things that he changes Tariq to do. Kanan's lack of fathering to Sean again doesn't make sense when Raquel is, even in this episode, loving, protecting, even taking him out to the random beach to show him how to shoot an automatic weapon so he can better protect himself. Nothing Kanan does with Sean, his own blood.
But wasn't Kanan in jail when Sean was young?
But like when he gets out and he's like, I need you to kill, Ghost, right? He's like, he makes fun of him, but not being able to hold the weapon. He's like, I can see it in your pants. And he's like, he knows his son doesn't know what he's doing, right?
Because his son is not, but Kanan wanted his son to be a thug. He wanted him to be him. And his son was not that person. So that's why Kanan hates Sean. He's like, why would your mother raise you this way? Your mother should have raised you to be a thug. And she didn't. She raised him to be a decent guy who had a basketball scholarship and until his knee got blown out, right? So yeah. She raised him the right way. And Kanan, because he's a thug, thinks his son should be a thug. And because, like I said, there's something, he's a bitter man. So he's all about this thug life, and his son is not like him. Most men want their son to follow them. And Sean is following Ghost's lead. Yeah. He's not following Kanan. Even though Ghost is a drug dealer, you know what I'm saying? But Ghost also at the same time is trying to protect Sean from the elements that he grew up with and him and Kanan grew up with. So that's why he's pissed. He's like, you trying to be like James, like Ghost. I want you to be like me.
And that's the question is how, so you bring up raised by his mama. So that's a good segue. I always ask the question, who was Sean's mama? Because we saw, I believe we saw her in one episode. We heard her voice in another episode, but it was never actually given a name. So in this episode, we are introduced to Davina Harrison. I do believe the love of Kanan's life, right? At least right now.
Buck 20's girlfriend, or was.
So
yep, yeah.
But with the love, clearly he's been chasing this woman since first grade. Do we believe that this should be Sean's mama?
It should be.
To make some type of sense out of this story, to connect it a little bit.
But don't you think that she wouldn't be his girlfriend? I mean, baby mama, because he killed her boyfriend.
And that's where the drama.
Like I said before, some women like that.
Right.
That's true. Some warped women like stuff like that. So you're right, Stacey.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, this is power, okay?
True.
Like, it's like it comes with it. And well, I'll say this: there's gonna have to be times where Kanan sleeps around, because of power. Everyone has to sleep around a little bit, so they're gonna break up, and then there's gonna be some other women thrown in there. There's gonna be like a white woman thrown in there, another black woman, an Hispanic woman, and then maybe he'll go back to his true love, the black girl. You know what I mean? And then that's just how it is.
Oh, I just thought of it. What about if he does go with Davina? Finally, he gets her. They break up for a minute or something happens, and then he actually finds Sean's mother. They sleep together, create Sean, but then he goes back with Davina after that.
This could be something. This could be something
right?
that kind of begs the question, where's Davina when he gets out of jail? Really, where are any of these people when he goes to jail? Because in book one, he had no one. I mean, it was very clear on this. The only person that came to see him was Sean, but he told Tariq, I ain't going to jail. No one comes to visit you like they said they're going to, which clearly implies everyone in this show, including D-Wiz and Famous and all these other people we're meeting, they must be dead. You know, because there's no mentioning of them in any way, shape, or form. Even when he gets out, he don't say, let me go see my boys from the old neighborhood. None of it. So
they could be dead, but they could also be, Kanan is an asshole, right? We know this. So Kanan could have like done something messed up to them, right? And then nobody speaks to Kanan anymore because Kanan is ruthless.
Not this version of Kanan. So to our point, he has to get to a point that none of his friends turn against him. But this Kanan right here, he's loyal to his friends. He loves his mama. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
That's a huge transformation for this character. Like if that's truly what they want this show to be, that's a huge transformation for this character. And we got to really start getting into that. What's up, Stacey?
Oh, when he killed the old lady and moved into her house, that was Breeze's place.
Yeah.
Like his old place. So the people in that building should have known who he was.
Right.
So
it's been 10 years. So I mean,
yeah, but there's always some old head that remembers everybody.
Yeah. Or just generally in the neighborhood. I mean, just to be like, hey, hey, Kanan. But yeah. And so that brings up another great question. Of all these new friends and family members we're meeting, where the fuck is Breeze? Like, that's the only character I believe I care about to know who he is. How does he come into Kanan's life? How does Kanan end up work for him in about 5 years? So this is 1991. By 1996, Kanan is working for Breeze. They're the only apparently major drug dealers in South Jamaica, Queens, and they hire 2 kids to work for them. And they're running the street. So how do we get there? How does Unique's crew gets completely wiped out? How does Raquel and her crew get completely wiped out? And it's just them 4. Because Raquel has a crew. I mean, the guy in the hospital, the guy who killed the white woman's dog. I mean, they got a relatively good sized like organization. So where do all these random drug dealers go? Kimberly, I know you felt something about this. How'd you feel about the retribution of the dog ending up in the microwave?
I thought that part was fake to me. Because my dogs bark if my son always makes that joke that if someone in the next apartment sneezes, my dog barks. And it's true. Dogs are very territorial, boy or girl, doesn't matter. And that was a little dog. Little dogs bark. That's just what they do. So how did someone, I know they were in there having sex or whatever, and she was a little loud, but you know what your dog is doing. Okay. You hear your dog. It's just like children. My children could be in another room. I hear everything they're saying and doing because we can, as a woman, we can multitask. So our brain could be listening to what you're doing, but we could be in here cleaning, washing dish, doing all types of stuff. So it didn't make any sense that someone could come into her house. You don't hear the door. He walks in, the dog doesn't bark or growl. I mean, at least growl, right? Nothing. But then you put the dog in the microwave, the dog would be screaming, barking, going bananas if you try to put it into a microwave. So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. It was just ridiculous. That was a ridiculous scene because we saw that the dog was growling at them in the club. So if that's the way the dog reacts to people it doesn't know, shouldn't it have done that in the house?
Absolutely.
Same thing.
Absolutely.
Didn't make sense.
Also, as we discussed, dogs like to watch their owners have sex anyway.
They do.
So
Absolutely.
The dog should have been busy, as said owner was busy. Also, who is she fucking? In fact, who is she? Like, I don't even know her name. Like, I watched it with subtitles. It was called, her name was Publicist. Like, who?
Yeah, they didn't say her name. Mm-mm.
Right? She's Hugo's girlfriend, but we don't get a name. Are we gonna see her again? And we don't know who Hugo is. Who's the guy she was fucking in the bed? Like, there's a lot of questions. Like, is this dude gonna come back? Did this sex scene even matter? What do you think, Chris? I see you shake your head. What you got?
I mean, it's power. You gotta throw in a couple sex scenes, in there,
Yeah.
So we'll see more. I mean, trust me, we'll definitely get some more. Especially with the moment I saw Symphony or whatever the hell his name is, I was like, oh Lord, we're gonna get a Tyler Perry scene, except an R-rated version.
I don't think that woman is gonna do a sex scene. I don't see it.
Hold up,
Kel?
you haven't seen Disney Plus. I mean, you haven't seen BET Plus.
Wait, what?
Well, Disney too, but it's animated stuff. Anyway, I'm getting off track. But I'm saying, but yeah, BET Plus. You watch Tyler Perry and BET Plus. Oh, he puts it out there.
Oh damn. Okay, Tyler.
Not bad. But I see your point.
Tyler the creator.
Yeah. So to Kimberly's point, yeah, I don't know if this actress is gonna be okay with that. But the real question is, you remember when Daddy Kanan was getting his dick sucked, and Sean comes in and he's like, "Get in on this. Like, That's not what you do when you're raised by good parents." But I'm saying, and we saw Tariq lose his virginity to an extent. So that's probably the scene that's coming at some point. No pun intended, I suppose. Like,
it's probably going to be his uncle.
They'll be like, "Hey, come get some of this." That would make sense. You can see Marv doing that. You can see Marv, and this is where he, like you said, this is where he gets his bad, the habits from, is Marv, right?
Yep.
It was written in the backstory that Marv and Jukebox relationship, because that's her dad. That's going to be a very hard relationship. You saw in this episode that when Raquel was yelling at Marv about after Kanan killed Buck 20. I gotta keep on doing this. I keep on calling 20 bucks after he killed Buck 20.
I'm sure he doesn't mind. He's dead.
I was like, shit. But anyway, I want to get it right. Either way, Marv quickly turns, his attention onto Jukebox to be like, "Where were you?" Which goes back to my original problem that Jukebox should have been there. Anyway, but like you can see, this already stress relationship. You see, he's the reason why she didn't apply to the better high school with a singing scholarship. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be a thing. She has a beautiful singing voice, so we're going to get a lot more music out of her. As we talk about the evolutions, how does she get from relatively strong, you know what I'm saying, but still sensitive woman to the murderer that we see in book one, who's gonna kill Kanan with no hesitation once she found out that he was gonna kill a kid that she just met, was gonna kill Kanan. How do we get her to that point in this series?
I think white girl gonna break her heart. I think the white girl, that's the thing I'll set it off, you know? Like, you know, I mean, white girls make everybody go, white girls make black people go crazy. I mean, look at OJ. You know, I mean, it's like, I mean, OJ, I mean, Michael Jackson was normal, and then all of a sudden Lisa Marie came into the picture, and all of a sudden he turned shades lighter. Like, white people, when white girls are involved, black people go crazy. Black people go crazy.
With Michael Jackson was already switching up his look before Lisa.
And
before he's messing with white girls, all right.
Yeah, He had self-hate for years.
We will let both of those black men go right now.
All right. Well, I don't know. I mean, OJ. I mean, you know, then poor Kanye West. Well, granted, she's Persian. Kim Kardashian's Persian, but whatever. The world sees her as white. But yeah. I mean, to the regular world, she's white. You know what I mean? Like, but I guess my point is that white girl gonna break her heart. Mm-hmm. She gonna go crazy. Omar Epps is gonna be like, yo, you know, like just like, hey, there's two pockets. Hey, there's a dick and there's a pocket on each side. On the left side, there's a wallet. There's money in it. Go ahead. That's a quote from Denzel.
Oh, okay. I was like, what are you going?
Never mind. Okay. Anyway, he's gonna do a training that he's gonna try to do like He's gonna try to Ethan Hawke her and basically trying to like recruit her. I think, you know what I mean. But like, yo, snitch on your pops, yo. Snitch on your pops. You know.
Let's introduce that. So now we got Detective Malcolm Howard and his partner, the Detective Burke. They are introduced as they try to investigate the obvious and predictable drive-by that was going to happen on Kanan after he killed Buck 20. There's a couple of those predictable drive-bys in this shit. Definitely Howard seems like he got some shady side. He got some thug in him. Very some like Training Day, Denzel Washington-esque, you know, type language coming out of him. So he's definitely probably gonna have some shady sides to him. So it'll be interesting to see. He also knew about DEF CON. No. I'm sorry. That was actually Unique. Unique brought up DEF CON. So when Unique talks to Raquel about renegotiating said territory, this week when we find out that Kanan's dad name was obviously street name was DEF CON. I'm like, seriously? But where is said DEF CON? And that Jerome. So now we realize that that Unique has a son named Jerome, and I don't know if we've seen him, but his name was also brought up. So this may be one of Kanan's competitors at some points. I would have been to show the Kanan that we know. I would have been happy if Kanan would have shot Buck for Davina. I would have took that better to be like not this episode, like later on in the series. He's trying to date Davina. She's like, no, Buck is my man, whatever. And a new Kanan, a more harder Kanan emerges to be like, well, if I just kill him, then you know, I ain't got no competition. And that
or Buck 20 could be like beating her up one day or something crazy.
All right.
And then here comes Kanan to save the day.
There you go.
Then Davina's like, oh, drop her panties.
It's funny you should bring that up. Let's introduce Famous's sister, Jessica, who shows up to the diner, and then me sits next to Lulu, already giving him the eye of, I will give you the ass if you request it. Then they go outside where another obvious drive-by happens. Lulu, in instinctive response, falls to the ground. He gets the opportunity to get on top of Jessica because what man wouldn't try? And then all of a sudden she's like, wow, you tried to save my life. Would you like this ass? Like, that's how I felt. That's how I felt the conversation went. I could be wrong, but that's the vibe I got.
She gave us some coochie coupons.
All right. And I was like, he's like, those will be cashed in at some point. I love how Famous was like, yeah, I don't want your uncle fucking with my. How old is that girl? Like, that's what I'm worried about. Age of consent. That's what I'm worried about because this boy's in high school.
Age of what?
In college, I think.
I was say, yeah. That's his older sister. That's his older sister.
Yeah, I
All
think she
right.
said she came up to study something.
Yeah.
at college.
All right. I just want to make sure. She
Yeah.
said she was in Baltimore. I just want to make sure because there's some problems with P Valley. We talked about that. But
Here we go again.
No, I'm gonna
Here
wait.
we go.
I'm gonna wait till season 2.
P Valley. I'm telling you, she was
Just-
of age in P Valley. Sorry, but anyway.
All right. All right. So anyway, I'm just saying Jessica will. Those draws will be coming soon. Everybody needs to have some love interest. So everybody got a little bits going on.
Did anybody notice Lala is gonna be in this?
She's gonna be in this.
They showed her on the preview or the trailer. She had on
Oh,
like a
BMF.
crazy kind of weird wig.
That's BMF. That was
Are you
BMF.
sure it
Oh,
wasn't
was that
BMF?
BMF? Oh, my
That was
bad. I'm
BMF.
so sorry.
Yeah, I was like, when you
Sorry.
said the hair, when you said that, no, cool. When you said the hair, it's like, I was like, it's still a 50 Cent show. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I mean, all this shit looks the same. 90s New York City drug dealer shit. It's all the same. You know what I'm saying? Except this one, he's narrating the whole fucking thing. So I want to make sure I just acknowledge it. I felt like I was watching The Wonder Years meets like The Wire because this month Kanan was.
Why?
No,
Don't do that.
Come on, Chris.
No, don't you dare. Don't compare this to The Wire. Don't do that.
Oh, my bad.
Oh no.
No,
Snowfall.
don't do that.
Snowfall. This is Snowfall.
I wouldn't. No, I mean,
Well,
there's
they
no
still
narrating
got
in
a
Snowfall either.
Snowfall.
There ain't no narrating in Snowfall.
My point. That's what the Wonder Years comes from, sir. I'm talking like it's the Wonder Years with the narration.
Oh.
It's the drug dealing come up with trying to bring the hood up. You know what I'm saying with Snowfall.
No, I would say this is more like. I don't know if you ever seen the movie Paid in Full.
That's a good movie.
Amazing movie. If anything, this show more than even Power is this looks more like Paid in Full than it does of any other show. You know, Paid in Full. You know, check it out. Awesome 90. I mean, well, it's a 2000 something flick, but it
Early
takes place
2000.
Yeah, but it takes place late 80s, 90s again in New York. You know, but
Either way,
you know,
Kanan
yeah.
shut the hell up. Like I'm saying, like this first episode, I know he was trying to introduce us to a lot of characters, like give backstories, so we knew who these were before they got started, and that kind of speeds things up, right? Next episode, shut the fuck up, all right, and let the story go.
I will
And he
only
was
be
clear,
okay.
too. His voice was very clear. You know how normally when he's talking, it's like
Yeah.
He was super clear. I understood everything, even though I had on closed captions because I was preparing myself.
Yes.
But no, he was actually very. He was clear. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
But Kanan did try to do that in the beginning. Remember the guy who's playing Kanan? He sounded like he had cotton in his mouth.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening? And then he dropped it completely.
Yeah.
He just started sounding like himself.
Yeah.
I will only be okay with him narrating another episode if he delivers the lines. Like I said, see this guy here? Yeah, he's guilty as fuck. Yeah, he really did that shit. Like if he said that shit, if he just said that, like then I'm good. Yeah, he's guilty as fuck. Yeah,
Whatever they said, he did that shit.
Yeah, he did that shit. He just said, yeah. He just said, yo, they say he ratted. Yeah, he did that shit. Guilty as fuck.
Like, oh man, Tariq was like, oh man, Slim. I don't know.
Oh, I knew it,
man. I was like, this motherfucker, man. I was like, come on, man, Tariq. But so this is, as we said, this is basically the Tariq story. This is basically Tariq, but now we're supposed to be rooting for the kid instead of being like, you're ungrateful and you need to stop trying to get into shit that ain't your lane, right? But they also show how smart his mom is. Again, inconsistencies, right? So for you feel that Raquel, you know what I'm saying, she was like she's in to the stars and everything. She knew about the constellations. She was like, oh look, it's Orion. She's like, we are Orion. I was like, all right, so where is that in book 1? Like Sean's middle name should have been Orion. Just like Tariq's middle name was James. I mean, you don't find out till they dead because you see it on the death certificate or something, but that would have been something. That would have been something. Like, I'm not seeing anything in book 1 that reminds me of this great woman that was in his life that he did everything for. And vice versa. And everybody got a big mama. Now, all of a sudden, Kanan got a grandmama. Like, where did grandmama come from? I was like,
well, that makes sense. Everybody has a grandmother.
I'm saying, all these shows, Big Mama always show up for no damn reason. I'm like, how did Big Mama show up? There's no kid to hand off to Big Mama. The only reason Big Mama needs to be in the show when there's a random ass kid that you ain't gonna see for about 3 or 4 episodes, but they exist. I'm gonna give this book 3 points. for the fact that Kanan does not have a little sibling that makes no damn sense that you ain't gonna see for most of the series. They're like, no, we got kids that matter. And I'm like, there you go. Also, speaking of kids, so when I gotta get back to her name, because I keep messing her name, Davina. So when Kanan is talking to Jukebox about Davina, instead that should have been a moment where she like Jukebox says, I fuck her, just to show that she gay, like to acknowledge it, but you don't have to see her girlfriend. That would be something. Also, I think Jukebox relationship with Famous, what if like Jukebox didn't fully appreciate the whole gay thing yet, and she was still trying to fake it. So she was like dating Famous. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? She had a baby with Famous. There's a miscarriage or something, you know what I'm saying? The baby don't come out, you know what I'm saying? But she's still trying to figure out her own sexuality. She understands that her family, especially her dad, would not be okay with her being gay. So she's using like Famous as a beard. Like, cause you know, they have that bickering relationship right now. You know what I'm saying? Like they could have worked that in there and been like, and then eventually she falls in love with the woman or whatever at school. And she's like, that's who I really want to be with. Like over time. I think that could have been something. I don't know.
That's one hell of a rewrite.
I tell you, that's a doozy.
Yeah.
Like just
Jukebox having a baby.
Well, not pregnant, like pregnant. I mean, it didn't work out though. Like she pregnant, you know, she's thinking about it, right? And then the game takes the baby, and that makes her hard. That makes her to be like, I'm going to kill all these fucks, right? Like
Chris is gone.
Oh, my bad.
No, I'm here. No, I'm just kind of going out of scene for a second.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, again, we need something to get Jukebox from point A to point B, and she's not there yet.
Well, I mean, it's only episode 1, so we're gonna see more. We're gonna find out why she's the bitter person, just like with Kanan. We haven't seen why Kanan becomes a bitter person. Yeah. It's gonna take time for them to get us to why Kanan is who he is and why Jukebox is who she is.
Yeah.
She's, you know, we got to go through the whole story. This is only episode 1.
I know. I'm saying things I would like to see in the future. I want to know who Jukebox's mama is or where the hell she is.
She's crackhead. I told you.
So in the first video we did. So we got. So if that's what the case, that'd be cool. But at least acknowledge said existence. Def Con. I mean, it'd be nice to get some kind of backstory on him. Just can't even give a fuck. How old?
It's gonna be 50. It's gonna be 50 gonna play his own pops. I'm just saying.
It probably is though. You know what, Chris? Yep. I'm not even gonna say that's not true. Because 50 likes to be in his own stuff because he feels like he makes the ratings. When he's in stuff, it does jump. Like the ratings do jump up higher because people like 50 Cent. So he probably will do it.
As much as Courtney Kemp, well, she ain't really that deep into the show, but if you like, I don't like prequels, I don't like flashbacks. The show started off with a flashback. How about Raquel is telling Kanan about DEF CON, and therefore she goes back to the to old days, and there is 50 Cent playing his own daddy, and like and in the flashbacks like that. I don't know. I still feel like I'm gonna stop watching this show. I feel like if I see,
what you're gonna know is not 50 Cent because this 50 Cent will have an eye patch on, so that's how you know that's DEF CON. He has an eye patch. He has a go-to.
Gotcha.
You know.
So that goes to Unique. Who thought Unique was too much? Yeah.
Too much.
It was too much.
And all of that. I mean, that is true. New Yorkers, they went through that whole thing with the gold teeth in their mouth and all that nonsense, the fake cap and all that crap. But it was like they put too much in his mouth, and then all that jewelry. And then he was just like you know what? I actually wrote in my notes. He reminded me of Bobby Brown. Remember when Bobby Brown used to be over the top?
Yeah.
Like trying to be a thug that he really wasn't. That is who he reminded me of. Just over the top. Like he was Bobby Brown for a second.
Yes, Bobby Brown. It'd be interesting if they reference Bobby Brown in it. Like I'm saying, because they got a lot of music in it, you know what I'm saying, of the times, you know what I'm saying? They had LL Cool J playing in the beginning. Like they're gonna
the music was good. I thought the music was really good.
And they're gonna try to ground it in the time period. So this would be good.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, they don't put no little Rihanna's bitch better have my money. With a low crap country, you know, as long as they don't do that.
Oh, that was I told you,
just
I was like,
saying.
I said they're gonna do Cardi B eventually, and be damned.
And they did both. And I'm like, wait, this takes place in 1940s. Wait,
What the fuck?
They put on Cardi B. What?
Like, what? I was like,
yo, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Like, you know, they're gonna mess around and play some Tupac and be like, wait, Pop came out a little bit.
But when she did that in Lovecraft, when she did that, that's why you're talking about it.
See, that's
you're
why.
Still talking about it. So that's why she did it.
But it was like it wasn't like the characters in the story. Like in this situation, the characters in the story are going to drive that music. Like this is going to turn into a Empire Junior. Like they're going to make a lot of opportunities for beatboxing, you know what I'm saying, and rapping and singing in this show. Like there will be a lot of spontaneous music going on since they're basically at Fame. I feel like I'm watching the show Fame again. You know, with the arts and science and the thing. Like I just feel like I'm watching that thing again. Huh?
Did you just compare this to Fame?
Yes,
he did.
You mean like the same Fame? They're like, I'm like I'm gonna live forever. That Fame.
Bet.
Really?
Bet there's gonna be some singing today. There's already singing. Don't act like dancing ain't coming.
Dude, this ain't gonna be no Footloose.
Oh, what's up?
They probably do some break dancing or something.
Bruh.
Yeah, like okay, all right, break dancing like a scene, but ain't, bruh.
Bet there's a class. Bet
this ain't gonna be no like. They ain't gonna have a full scene like no Last Dragon. It was just like, I would like to see your move, and then be like the whole like there ain't gonna be none of that.
Watch, there will be someone going. Davina will be in a class for dancing, and Kanan will be walking her to class. One of those is gonna happen. There will be a dance class at this art school at some point, and I'm gonna be like, if that happens, I told you. But I'm saying because they're gonna.
I'll give you this. Maybe the Puerto Rican. Maybe they'll do like the forbidden dance or something. They'll do the lambada or something, you know. But like maybe. But like I don't. Nah.
So real quick,
I want to talk. So?
I mean, again, I'm not talking about a full thing. It'll be in the background. They will acknowledge the arts of the school. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Beyond just jukebox singing. The principal. I thought the principal's words were prophetic, and she was like, "Kanan has a lot of talent, and I don't want to see him squander that talent." And I'm like, that's absolutely what happens to this supposed, college-bound kid who actually was insulted. Anyway, he ends up being a local street dealer who gets put in jail by one of his local street dealers and ultimately murdered. Like, he never achieves anything beyond that. Like, and he tried failed twice to get his business back. It never goes anywhere. So,
but that's his fault, though. That you can't blame what happened to Kanan on anybody but Kanan.
Oh, I don't. I'm just saying like that talent was squandered as she was worried about. I'm saying, and it was also again, it was. What's up, Chris?
No, I was going to say Mr. Clark would have turned that around.
Yes,
Mr. Clark would have turned that around. He would have came out with his
bullhorn
big horn.
Bat.
Yeah, like, oh, y'all need to go back to class now.
Remember,
y'all need to do the school anthem.
Remember,
I don't know.
The principal was like, "Come on, guys, get to class." I think like you need a bat and a bullhorn, and then they were.
Oh yeah.
Again, so Kanan's almost like yelling at his mama to be like, "You want me to do what? You want me to go to school? You want me to get a good job? You want to get out of this neighborhood? I dare you!
How dare you? That's parenting."
And then she had horrible parenting too, because I'll be damned if either one of my kids talk to me like that. Are you out of your mind? Yeah. Like you have lost your mind. You don't talk to me that way. You can say how you feel. Like I never told my kids not to tell me how they feel, but there's a way you say it to your parent. Yeah. And the way he was talking to her was extremely disrespectful. And her stupid brothers allowed him to do that. Neither one of them was like, "Hey, don't talk to your mother that way." My uncles would have said that. They would have been like, "What are you talking to your mother like that for? You know, like what's wrong with you?"
I would agree. I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that they know that this dude just took a body. So I think the whole like, hey, don't use a cuss word around your, like, you know what I mean? That kind of goes all the way out the freaking window. It's like, oh, this little nigga caught a body, and we're telling him don't drop the F-bomb or don't talk to, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. No, you're right. I'm just saying. At that point, I'm like, oh, this nigga really is grown. Like he caught a body. Like it's I don't know.
I got a chance to see him accelerate that quickly. Like even when Tariq killed Ray Ray or whatever.
Yeah, Ray, yeah.
Yeah.
you kind of understood it, but we
Right.
didn't get like, how would you just walk up to somebody and murder them?
Episode 1, yeah.
Like,
He squeezed his hands, remember? He was like, oh shit, just like he did when he beat that kid with the sock. He was like, let me squeeze my hands and get my shit together.
Because he's
like when
scared.
he beat the kids up, he said, ever since that point, my name has been known or whatever.
Yeah.
We never saw. It wasn't like he was like beating people up at school or anything.
Or people like, oh shit, that's Kanan. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
I beat that
Yeah.
kid with the sock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, they made it seem like he was about to be Omar Little. Like I was waiting for everyone to be like, oh shit, yo, it's Omar. Like, look, I was like, nah. It was like, oh, I was that little nigga Kanan. I was like, and that was it. It was just like nothing.
And he's still chubby, I guess. But I mean, because he was a chubby little kid. Also, I mean, that whole scene didn't make no damn sense. So it was 3 kids, one holding jukebox, one beating the shit out of Kanan, one laughing at him, getting the shit beat out of him. He goes home. Mama brings him back to the park, which is already a failure because I would have been made fun of him for his mom having to come back. But then the mom gives him the sock.
But she stayed off in the distance.
She was in the distance.
All right, I'm set.
Yeah.
I still saw him. Anyway, so then she walked with the sock, and then the 2 boys just stand there patiently waiting for him to beat the shit out of him with the sock. Because when he hits the one, he's like, oh.
They didn't know that he was going to do that. They was trying to buck at him again.
After the first swing, second kid should have hit him or ran the fuck off. Like one of those two.
Yo, I think he was in shock. He was in shock, just like a normal person would have been.
That's
like, are you kidding? Yo, have you ever been in a situation where all of a sudden, like, you see something that is like that just stunned you?
And I run the fuck off. I'm not that stunned. When my friend gets knocked the fuck out, I'm running or I'm helping. I'm not gonna be like, oh my God. And then where's the third kid? Where's the third kid? So then he takes turns just beating them up, and I'm like, the third kid ain't even there anymore.
Because Jukebox probably already whooped his ass. That's why. Jukebox like, yo, you held me down. You held me down.
Nothing.
My cousin's getting his ass whipped.
Did nothing but say,
like
why did y'all do that? And I'm like, this is a wasted scene for Jukebox. To your point, Jukebox should have beat the shit out that kid. And Kanan should have went home, got the sock, came back. Jukebox is still beating that kid, and then Kanan comes in and finishes it off. That would have been like, okay, these are the dynamic duo, and their names will be known throughout the streets. But that's not what we got. We got a chubby kid with the sock. Also, I want to mention Raquel.
Why you guys say Chub? Ain't no one say chubby but you. Ain't no one even in the episode say chubby. Why?
He is chubby.
He was chubby.
I know, I ain't denying that, but the fact you got to put a label on it, like as if it was said in the
Currently,
show.
50 Cent is chubby.
He is.
You know what, guys? That's not.
Is that
nice.
COVID? That's not nice, guys. What is wrong with y'all? What's wrong with y'all?
It was COVID 1991. He was COVID. He looks like Papa. So tell me that little boy didn't look like Papa.
Wow.
Tell me he looked like Papa.
No, Papa's bigger than him.
Papa at his age. Papa at his age. Bet. All right, so.
No. You are wrong.
He did.
You need to say 10 Hail Marys, 5 Our Fathers, okay?
Oh, remember? Wait, hold on. Oh, I want to talk about Raquel's cigarette purse, because that took me back to my childhood, because my mom had one just like that. When Howard comes to investigate, right, and she's smoking the cigarette outside, and she opens a little black, like little leather case or whatever that pulls out a cigarette. I was like, my mama had one of those, little snap top and everything. I was like, that's good details. That's good details. That's a black woman in the 80s smoking.
I'm afraid somebody's gonna mess up though. You know what I mean? Like, just like, I hope they don't. I mean, not on the same level like Game of Thrones to have a Starbucks coffee in the background, but like
that was funny.
They better not mess around if someone has like a portable CD like player and be like, that doesn't exist for another 6 years, sir. Like, you know,
they're gonna have an iPod.
Okay, iPod. There were portable. I had a portable CD player in 1992. But like, to your point, if they come out with the iPod, that'd be some bullshit. You
have portable CD player? Yo, you must have been rich, bro.
I had the legit Sony that skipped when you breathed on it. Like, I had that. The one that they talked about in Fear Street. I had that one. My brother bought it for me. That shit lasted me till 2004.
Good God! Wow.
It took 4 batteries and the sun, but that Sony lasted me a long motherfucking time. But anyway, and my two first CDs were Ice Cube's Death Certificate And Ice-T OG original gangster. My brother thought I needed more gangster rap in my life.
Your parents let y'all buy that?
Bad parenting. No, that's my
Yes.
brother. That's my brother. That's my brother. My mom. Anyway, I'm getting to my own business. I guess my point is really that was all 1992. There's a lot of like music, like hard music that they can put into the show to kind of make it, like put it more street. I don't know what kind of music rights they got, but it would be interesting to see how music like grounds the show because it was a good soundtrack.
I'm gonna say when New York is, I'm pretty sure they'll. I think that it won't be that much of a problem. I mean, you know what I mean?
They had Mary J. Blige. I'm saying so she should. I mean, with Ghost and Angie, so they could. They could have Method Man since he's not in this series. I mean, they could.
Well, no, I mean, as far as all it is like you just pay them a little bit of money for just to play a song. Like it's not. Especially talking about '90s New York. Like yeah, it's like it's going to be big. You can play some KRS-One, play a little like early Wu-Tang, whatever. You know what I mean? So. It's going to be pretty cool. I mean, hell, you can even put have maybe a newer artist, but still maybe it's like an older song, like older sounding song. Yeah, that would kind of work too. So so who knows?
I'm looking forward to music. Again, the only character I'm looking for is Breeze at some level. I just want to see that. How about you, Stacey? What are you looking forward into this series?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep a blank slate. I don't want to get my
hopes up.
My hopes up.
Okay. It already has a season 2, so they should be pacing themselves. Like a whole lot of shit happened this episode, and they should be pacing themselves. How about you, Kimberly? What are you looking for in this series?
I want to know more about the mom. I want them to go deeper into the mom. Like, why would she? She seemed to me to be a good mom. Like I felt like everything that I saw her do, except for when she embraced him being with the gun. Now before that, I thought she was really trying to be a great mom, right? But then, but I want to know her backstory a little bit more. I'd love to meet her mother, the woman that he was gonna go with, right? Just to have just a little bit more because his father was DEFCON, who was a drug dealer, right? We think.
We assume.
Right? We're assuming. Yeah. And then Post was her second was her boyfriend, was stepfather. So he was good to Kanan from what Kanan said, right? Yeah. So I want to know what compelled her to continuously be with drug dealers, and at the same time trying to be a good mom to Kanan. You know what I mean? Like what happened to her? Why would she do that? No, because you when you have children, I know for me living in New York with my child, I wasn't thinking, oh, I should go with a drug dealer to take care of us. I was thinking, how can I keep my son from becoming a statistic?
Yeah.
That was my mind frame, So, and I think at a certain point in her life, that's what she was thinking about with Kanan. When she sat there with the mom, I genuinely felt that she wanted the best for Kanan. She wanted him out of the neighborhood, away from what was going on. But then he caught the body, and that was it. She was like, okay, I'm all in. You can be a drug dealer with your mom. No problem. I was like, it only took that? That was like...
Because he figured out the code, because he hung out with the 5%ers. Like, I remember when I went to New Jersey, I heard about the 5%ers. I was like, who the fuck are the 5%ers? Like, what about the other rest of the 10%? Like, what about the 95%? Like, why are they only 5? I'm very confused. I was like, that's some real New York East Coast shit. Like, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, Mama, I know high level math and English. So why the fuck do you want to be a drug dealer? Listen to yourself. Like, and where was this when Kanan was around? Like, where's this book one Kanan who's a philosopher? Like, where is this dude?
Well, he played chess. I mean,
so thank you, Stacey. Where the fuck is the chessboard? Like, that's what we need to be seeing. That's
what we learned that in prison, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think he learned that in prison, but I also think that this is only the first episode. So maybe this season he'll be playing chess. We don't know.
He needs to be playing. He needs.
But y'all like chess. But y'all like he was a world-class chess player. I know how to play chess, and I ain't the smartest in the bunch.
Bro, but that was
what that mean?
That was the point.
What does that mean?
That was the point of saying he was a strategist. That was the point of saying he could sit there and put the pieces around because he was like, "I got you." Like that was the point. He had. I'm sure he was a master before he went. Nah, master. He knew how to play before he went to prison. You know what I'm saying? He probably said. I mean, so I'm saying.
Well, but was it though? Just like Tariq trying to tell Brady, like, hey, if you see all the ponds all knocked over, I'm in some deep doo doo. And they're like, oh my God, Tariq is in trouble because all the pieces are on the ground.
No, he just hit
like,
the table.
You mean like that? You mean that's?
But that. Just real quick, chess, chopping up a body, Breeze, and breaking into a room with a credit card. These things must be done for this prequel to be worth something.
And Mama needs to die.
Mama needs to die because her love for protection did not make the creature that we saw in book 1. That doesn't make any sense. So I would say that. How about you?
I need to see. No security too. How come every drug dealer in this universe, that woman was walking around? Yeah. She's like a high selling drug dealer. She had nobody. I don't even walk around New York, and I'm just a regular person by myself. In those situations, if I'm going to meet another drug dealer he had like 20 dudes around him.
So I think because we don't know all these people who all these people were, you did see Lulu and Marv there. So that her people were there doing the parlay or whatever, like they were there. I'll say to your point, when she's walking around the street and when it's just them two, and you almost had not one but 2 drive-bys. You need to bring the crew with you. Like you need to be walking around like you got Secret Service and shit, like to that. But like Ghost and Tommy were the muscle. Like they didn't need anybody else. Because Tommy took out 5 dudes by himself and didn't even have a weapon. He killed them, took the weapon, and beat them with it. Like, I'm like, where is that? You know what I'm saying? But I see your point. Yeah, you're right. For some reason, these fuckers act like they just impervious to bullets. Except for Unique, who has an armored up car. Let's see how that works out. Icarus, any parting words?
Yeah, I know for the white girl that we saw that lost her dog, I need to see a scene where her trying to get payback, or just kind of tell her like her little nephew be like, oh my God, okay, look, they just killed my little dog, okay? Like we gotta do something. And then you hear this little boy on the other end, and the little boy's like, yeah, motherfucker. And then it's revealed to be little Thomas. It's like little Thomas, the nephew of homegirl, I need to see little Thomas, like go to get revenge on Auntie's dog that just, I need that. So basically what I'm saying is I need to freaking see Tommy. There can't be a single book of whatever power without putting Tommy. I know they tried to do that BS where they were like with 2 episodes and and the whole thing with Ghost, put Tommy. Every single thing needs to have Tommy in. I'm just saying. Tommy needs to be in everything. Just saying.
Ghost and Tommy should be about 11 years old right now, so they should be somewhere in that neighborhood. So so I'm not. They don't need to be active members. They're too young for that, but they should be running around the neighborhood with the kids.
Or I don't know. Maybe Kanan talks to a psychic or whatever, and then maybe it's one psychic that's like a true psychic, and then all of a sudden he can see the future, and then he sees Tommy, and then Tommy talks to him like grown up, like something. You need to see Tommy. That's all I'm saying. That's all I want. I don't give a damn about anything else. You don't
see Tasha and Ghost sending him to jail. Like that's what he needs to be seeing. Like this motherfucker. It's like
no. He probably sees Jasmine before he even sees all of that. So like So
I don't know. No. James's father. Yeah, that would be good because he owns the bar, right? Right. He owns the neighborhood bar.
Thank you. Where's James' father?
And James' uncle too, right?
Uncle, yeah.
They were in the neighborhood. He was worried about the drug dealers in the neighborhood. Yeah. He could have been worried about Unique. Like these are main characters. These are people that we've heard about that should be not all in book 1, in episode 1, obviously, but at some point, like Malcolm, right? So therefore, like Malcolm Howard and his partner should be called by the local bartender who's like, I'm tired of these drug dealers in the neighborhood. That there's a way you can introduce these people without being like, this is Ghost and Tommy's story, and still make it about Kanan. You can easily do that.
Do you think there'll be a crossover with Mary J. Blige, like Mary J. Blige's family? Maybe maybe we'll have like a young Mary, like in there, and I don't know.
He said she grew up in Brooklyn or some shit. She made a point to be like that was her bullshit. Well, why?
Wait, where are they in this one? Queens. Yeah,
Jamaica
because that's
thing.
like so far away. That's a whole hour and a half drive or something.
Look.
Like, okay. Like,
I'm not
come on
Courtney
now.
Kemp. I'm just saying what she said. She said that's how she realized that, and they don't watch TV past Brooklyn. Like they don't like that. They watch the newspapers. Like I don't know what.
Yeah,
happened.
when she said that, I'm like, I was like, no, Brooklyn won't know Queens. I'm like, really? Okay.
Look, bro.
Okay. I'm like,
That's what she said. That's what.
I know there's turf, but damn, like there's nothing called a television or whatever. I don't know.
Hey, again, and if you watch our predictions video, there's a lot of things happening in 1991 that should be in this thing. It'd be interesting to see how they bring in real world events again to kind of ground it and put stuff. Anyway, guys, anybody else before we go again?
Oh, they actually put the 2 towers back in there.
Yeah,
towers.
Yeah.
That was
I wonder if they'll have the first time it bombed. Was it 92? Was that 92?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they do that. Maybe not. Maybe they won't go there. But probably not. Yeah.
Let's not do that. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Yo, Biggie. Have Biggie as in there. Maybe you have Biggie. At least talk about him. I don't know.
At least hear the records. Oh, bring back the actor.
Yeah.
Bring back the actor. The one from the movie Notorious. The one from Notorious.
Yeah.
Oh, though,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I mean, he still played. He still looked like Big. Bring back the dude that played Tupac in that one movie. He looked.
Bring back the girl that played like Little Kim.
Oh.
Not. Yeah, you talking about Tasha?
Yeah.
Oh, she did. You know, I forgot
right,
she played her.
That would.
Matter of fact, would that be crazy if Tasha comes back in there by Lil Kim, and then Lil Kim is like, "Don't you look familiar?" Or maybe later on you look familiar. Like that would be kind of messy. Never mind.
Never mind. It's like, oh man, that's funny. All right, guys, that is the video. Thank you guys very much for watching. We will be here next week. Either way, we will finish out this season, whatever we feel about it. And we'll see. We'll reassess season 2. How about that? We'll see where this goes. I tell you, if 50 Cent shows up in this channel will stop doing this show. I'm sorry. They will do another channel. I will not. All right. I'm saying I will not stand for 50 Cent. We need to hold them to a standard, damn it. We need to hold them to a standard.
Wait, weren't you okay with James James coming back as his own uncle? Remember we were saying that Omari Hardwick would come back. Omari come back as his own uncle,
as his twin brother.
If he had the mohawk, the beard, if he like being Omari.
But you're okay with that? You're okay if that happens?
Because when he's him, he's a totally different dude. Like I'm okay. You know why? Because he didn't narrate book 1. If Ghost would have narrated book 1, I would be like, shut the fuck up and let somebody else run this show.
All right. Well, no, 50 would be different because he would have probably like an eye patch or
if he does the eye patch, if he does the eye patch and somehow he got some gold teeth in his mouth, then maybe I will consider it. All right. Well, we'll take a vote. It's 4 of us. We'll take a vote and see how we
give him a Jerry curl and a beard.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Right? He'd be like,
get some Soul Glow going.
I want him to walk up to Raquel and be like, bad shit.
Oh, well, they got the homeboy from Snowfall, so why not?
Yeah. Also, notice that they're talking about how things are tight right now. Supply is a problem. Supply is a problem for everybody. So, like that's an interesting storyline to go down. Who's their supplier? Is it Lobos's family? Is it the Serbs? I'll be like, who is their
No, they're getting it out of California from some young kid that's working with the CIA.
Oh, Rick White. Rick, what is it?
Oh no!
White boy Rick.
It's Jerome. It's Jerome and Lulu. Because remember that
I just thought about that white girl that was riding that black dude. What if that is Tommy's mother?
She had blonde hair. No, remember
that is not Kate.
No, that's not Tommy's mother. No,
Kate was a dancer in Atlantic City. That's already been established.
Never mind.
I'm sorry.
Damn,
bright red hair.
Never mind. I see where we're going with that. If any redhead woman pops up in this show, that is Kate Egan. I don't give a damn. Like she would be Kate Egan. She just needs to walk across the store. Like she don't need to say nothing. Just walk across the store, start scratching, and be like, "Anybody know where drugs are at?" And we'll be like, "Kate Egan." Like just acknowledge she exists. We'll take it from there. Anyway, guys, thank you guys very much for watching. This is going to be posted. I promise you. See you. Take care of yourselves and each other. See, I was talking shit like I'm on one minute. Anyway, bye.